Salam everyone. Welcome to Physics with Noshir Alam, and we are continuing with current electricity or current electricity mein. Now we are going to discuss measuring resistance. Now to measure resistance, we have a circuit of this sort. It's called a Wheatstone bridge circuit, and the method itself, sometimes you call it the null method, or if you don't call it the null method, that's also fine. But you'll understand why the word null. Now you've got four resistors. All right, let's call them P, Q, R, and S. R is going to be a variable resistor. Okay, P and Q are resistances which could have the same value, could have different values, don't care. R is a variable resistor. Variable resistor का मतलब है resistance change होगी, and S is the unknown resistance. So let me write that down for you. S is the unknown resistance, जिसकी resistance हमने निकालनी है. All right. Now you can clearly identify the cell. The cell has EMF E, so let me call that as E. Now there's going to be a current which will come out of the cell and which will reach this point. So let me call that current as I. And when that current reaches this point, what happens to the current? It splits. So part of it goes here, I1, part of it goes here, I2. And then this galvanometer over here shows a reading. So this is your galvanometer. Now what will we do? We will continue to change R until the galvanometer reading is 0. You just understand why. So हम इस R की वैल्यू को चेंज करते रहेंगे कब तक? जब तक गैल्वानोमीटर की रीडिंग 0. अच्छा, गैल्वानोमीटर की रीडिंग 0 क्यों नहीं है पहले? I don't know, depending on whether I1 is greater or I2 is greater. If I2 is greater, the current will flow this way. If I1 is greater, it will split and part of it will go here, part of it will go there. So there will be a current in the galvanometer, but if I continue to change R, there will be a point where no current would be able to enter from this side or this side. Can you think why? It's probably because the potential at this point and the potential at this point have become equal. Now, try to understand that the current goes this way and this way after splitting. You continue to change the value of R until this reading became 0. That's why it's called the null method. मतलब ये कि अगर इस ब्रांच में करंट कोई नहीं आ रहा तो इस पॉइंट पे पोटेंशियल और इस पॉइंट पे पोटेंशियल, आपसे एक सीधा सवाल है, क्या दोनों पॉइंट से पोटेंशियल सेम है या डिफरेंट है? लेट मी कॉल द पॉइंट्स एज A, B, C and D. If VB becomes equal to VD, the current in the galvanometer will become 0. Why? Because there is no potential difference across this branch. So why would there be a current? हाँ, current कब होगा? जब D बड़ा हो B से या VB बड़ा हो VD से. जैसे ये 3 volts हो या 2 volts हो, 1 volt potential difference आ गया, current यूँ flow करेगा. Let's say ये 4 volts है, ये 1 volt है, 3 volts potential difference आ गया, current यूँ flow करेगा. लेकिन अगर ये भी 3 है और ये भी 3 है तो करंट नहीं फ्लो करेगा. सो आर की वैल्यू अगर चेंज करने से इसमें करंट 0 हुआ है तो इसका मतलब है कि बेसिकली आपने वी बी और वी डी को बराबर कर दिया है. नाउ पी और क्यू की बात करते हैं. दिस इज पी एंड दिस क्यू. पी और क्यू के लिए ए कॉमन है, सबको नज़र आ रहा है. सो whatever the EM of the cell is, that is the voltage at point A. That is VA. Now, if I ask you, what is the voltage? How do you write the voltage across resistor P? In symbols, you will write VAB. This is the voltage across P. Why? Because P की एक side A पे connected है, P की दूसरी side B पे connected है, तो potential difference कितना होगा? VAB. Okay? Then, let me ask you, what is the voltage across Q? How do you write that in symbols? You will say VAD. VAB or VAD इनका मतलब क्या होता है? इनका मतलब होता है वी ए माइनस वी डी, वी ए बी का मतलब होता है वी ए माइनस वी बी. सो जो लेटर पहले लिखा जाता है दैट्स ऑलवेज एट द हायर पोटेंशियल, जो लेटर बाद में लिखा जाता है दैट्स ऑलवेज एट द लोअर पोटेंशियल, एंड देन यू सबट्रैक्ट देम. ओके, नाउ आंसर माय क्वेश्चन. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? VAB and VAD, are they equal? Yes or no? देखो, P और Q दोनों के लिए A तो कॉमन है, सो A सेम है. B और D नज़र आ रहा है डिफरेंट है, B इधर है D इधर है, लेकिन जब आपने R की वैल्यू चेंज करनी शुरू की until this VD became 0, so what do we decide? That VB is also equal to VD. So A दोनों के लिए कॉमन है. अब B और D भी आपने बराबर कर दिया by changing the value of R. So what do you think? VAB और VAD की वैल्यू सेम होनी चाहिए, डिफरेंट होनी चाहिए? The answer is सेम होनी चाहिए. So VAB must be equal to VAD. Alright? And similarly, let's talk of resistor R. If I ask you to write in terms of symbols, what is the voltage across R, what will you write? You will write VBC. Let me do it in the same red color. VBC. Now, if I ask you to write down the voltage across S, what will you write? You'll write VDC. If I ask you to decompose it, what will you write? You'll write VB minus VC, and VDC को you'll write as VD minus VC. And then I'll ask you the same question. Are these two voltages equal? Well, your answer should be C तो कॉमन है दोनों के लिए, R और S दोनों के लिए C तो कॉमन है, एंड C इज कनेक्टेड टू द ग्राउंड, सो दिस इज 0, सो C तो सेम हो गया. B और D नज़र आ रहा है फ़र्क है, लेकिन चूंकि हमने R को चेंज किया था अंटिल गैल्वेनोमीटर रीडिंग 0, उससे B और VD भी बराबर हो गए थे. दैट मीन्स VBC एंड VDC मस्ट बी इक्वल, राइट? सो आई कैन राइट डाउन इन ग्रीन नाउ that VBC must be equal to VDC. Alright, let's keep this till this point. अभी आप डायग्राम वापस आओ. अब मुझे बताओ कि ये I1 यहाँ से गया, ये I2 यहाँ से गया. गैल्वेनोमीटर में हम कह रहे हैं कि करंट ही नहीं जा रहा. Let me write that down. There is no current. There is no current. मैंने इसलिए ऐसे लिख दिया ताकि आपको सही तरह समझ आ जाए. There is no current in BD. मुझे ये बताओ कि I1 यहाँ से आ रहा है, I2 इधर से आ रहा है, और करंट इस ब्रांच में आ ही नहीं रहा, तो किधर जा रहा है I1? यहाँ से प्लीज़ ये मत कह देना करंट यहाँ से ऊपर चला जाएगा, ऐसे नहीं हो सकता. दिस नॉट अ चाइल्ड गेम. I1 यहाँ से नीचे आएगा, इधर जा नहीं सकता, कहाँ जाएगा? नीचे चला जाएगा. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक? जो P में से करंट गुजरा है और जो R में से करंट गुजरेगा वो सेम होगा या डिफरेंट होगा? अगर तो इधर कुछ करंट जाता तो यहाँ पे करंट डिफरेंट होता, बट करंट I1 यहाँ पे आया, इधर तो कुछ गया नहीं, तो कहाँ गया? नीचे गया. सो द करंट इन P मस्ट बी इक्वल टू द करंट इन R. ऑलराइट, सो द करंट इन P मस्ट बी इक्वल टू द करंट इन R. सो इसमें से I1 गुजरेगा, एंड बाय द सेम लॉजिक जो करंट Q में से गुजरा है वही करंट S में से गुजरेगा. वाई? बिकॉज अगेन अगर यहाँ पर करंट स्प्लिट हुआ होता तो आप कहते हैं ना यहाँ पे डिफरेंट है, करंट तो सेम है. सो I2 गोज फ्रॉम Q एंड I2 गोज थ्रू S. सो इट्स द सेम करंट गोइंग थ्रू S. सो आई कैन से दैट द करंट इन P is equals to the current in R, as I've shown, and the current in Q is equals to the current in S. Alright, now coming back to the green equations, you had already found out that these two are equal, and you found out that these two are equal. I can divide the two equations. So मैं लिख सकता हूँ इसको as VAB is equals to VAD divided by VBC over VDC. I call this as 1 and I call this as 2, and I basically divided 1 by 2, and left hand side of 1 divided by left hand side of 2, right hand side of 1 divided by right hand side of 2. So VAB over VBC is equals to VAD over VDC. Okay, now you all know that V is equals to IR. Now अब बताएं diagram में देखिए कि what is VAB equal to in terms of I and R. VAB would be I1 into P, isn't it? VAB would be equal to I1 into P. What would VAD be equal to? I2 into Q. What would VBC be equal to? It's fun now. I1 into R. And finally, what would VDC be equal to? I2 into S. Fair? Now, the currents are the same. I1, I2, I2, they'll get cancelled. So you are left with P over R is equals to Q over S. What did we want to find? S was my unknown resistance. So I'll make S the subject. I will end up getting Q into R over P. R was the variable resistance जिसकी वैल्यू फिक्स नहीं थी, लेकिन हम उसकी R की वैल्यू को चेंज करते रहे. कब तक? जब तक एक ऐसी R की वैल्यू नहीं आई जब तक वो गैल्वेनोमीटर रीडिंग 0 हो गई. वो R की वैल्यू उठा के आप इधर डालेंगे, Q और P की वैल्यूज आप उठा के यहाँ डालेंगे, and you will find the value of S, and this is the null method of finding or measuring resistance. Okay. Alright, so now we are going to discuss measuring the EMF of an unknown cell, and for that we need to use this circuit. Now, when you're using this circuit, there are two cells that you can see. One is the blue one, which is your known cell, and the white one, which is your unknown cell. So let's call them as E1, and let's call the white one as E2. So E1 is your known cell, and E2 is the unknown. The red wire that you see has a length L. So you have used a wire of length L. Alright, now again, this is your galvanometer G, and the method that we will be using again is the null method. Again, we will move this jockey on the wire until the galvanometer reading becomes 0, and let's see how that even helps us in finding out the EMF of this unknown cell. So right now the wire is completely attached across E1. As you all know, V is equals to IR, and you know that R can be written as rho L over A. Now you know that rho and A are constant, so I can say that V is proportional to L, and by that logic I can say that EMF of cell 1 is proportional to the length L of the wire. So E1 is represented by the length L of the wire. Okay, अब हम क्या करेंगे? अब हम इस जॉकी को लेफ्ट मूव करेंगे और फिर राइट मूव करेंगे. सो जॉकी को हम यहाँ से शुरू करेंगे और मूव करते जाएंगे करते जाएंगे करते जाएंगे. कब तक? जब तक एक ऐसा पॉइंट ना आए इस वायर के ऊपर जहाँ पर ये गैल्वेनोमीटर रीडिंग 0 हो जाए. सो लेट्स अज्यूम that this point over here represents that point where this galvanometer reading became 0. The question is, why did it become 0? Why did it become 0? Sorry. It became 0 because cell E1 must have been giving out a current I1. Cell E2 must have been giving out a current I2. Right? And I1 and I2 together would have given you I3 over here, as you've seen this question before. So there must be a potential difference. Let me do it in a different color. There must be a potential difference between these 2 points. Let me call this as A and let me call this as B. If there is a current I3, that means there must be a potential AB, right? Now, when I was moving the jockey, at one point, the galvanometer reading became 0, which means what? Which means that VAB and E2 have become equal. So when the galvanometer reading becomes 0, when IG becomes 0, when the galvanometer reading becomes 0, then at that stage, VAB must be equal to E2. क्यों? क्योंकि पहले I2 क्यों था? I2 इसलिए था क्योंकि E2 must have been greater than VAB, तभी तो करंट फ्लो कर रहा है. अब अगर VAB और E2 इक्वल हो जाएं तो फिर ये I2 तो निकलेगा ही नहीं. I2 का मतलब है IG निकलेगा ही नहीं. I2 and IG are the same thing. So remember that this potential difference over here and the cell's potential difference, if they are different, only then will you have this current I2. If this voltage and the cell's EMF are equal, then you won't have I2. So VAB must have been equal to E2, and that's why the current reading would have been 0. Now, at that stage, when the galvanometer reading is 0, you measure the length L. Alright? So you measure the length L, 1, let's call it L1. Now, VAB or the E2 must be proportional to L1. So let me write down again. E1 was proportional to the length, full length of the wire. E2 is proportional to L1. Let this be equation number 1. Let this be equation number 2. Let's divide 1 by 2. So you'll get E1 is equals to K times L divided by E2 divided by K times L1. K और K cancel. So क्या निकल आया? E1 over E2 is equals to L over L1. Now, क्या निकालना था? You want to find E2, right? So make E2 the subject. E2 is equals to L1 over L into the EMF E. So you know you can measure this length with the meter rule. You can measure this length with the meter rule. You already know the EMF E1 because E1 was the known cell. I'll write E1 over here. E1 was the known cell, so you already are aware of its EMF. So E2 nikal aaya. I have another question now. Let's say this is E1 and this is E2. E2 is still unknown. E1 is still known. These are different cells. Alright, known, E2, unknown. But different from the previous question. Now we start with the same method again. You move the galvanometer on the wire and पता ही चलता है कि galvanometer आपने इस कोने से लेकर इस कोने तक पूरा मूव कर लिया है, but the reading is not going to 0. The reading is non-zero. So वो null हो ही नहीं रही. I'll repeat. You move the galvanometer from this edge to this edge, the jockey, and it just doesn't become 0. Everything is right in the circuit. Now what do we do? E1 is known. Iska pata hai. Iska nahi pata. So what is your diagnosis? Your diagnosis would be कि उसके 0 ना होने की एक ही वजह हो सकती है. That E2 has a larger EMF than E1. देखो, अगर ये strong है और ये weak है, तो weaker हमेशा balance हो जाएगा किसी ना किसी point पे. क्योंकि इसकी पूरी जो length L है, वो किसको represent कर रही है इस time पे? E1 को या E2 को? You will say E1 is proportional to the length. भाई अगर E2 इस पूरी लेंथ पे बैलेंस ही नहीं हुई, इससे भी आगे ज़्यादा जाके लेंथ पे बैलेंस होना है उसने, तो उसका मतलब है E2 must be proportional to a larger length, which means that E2 must be larger than E1. That's why it's not balancing out. अब इसका हल क्या है फिर? इसका हल ये होगा कि आप इन दोनों सेल्स की पोजीशंस को चेंज कर दें। एक कॉमन क्वेश्चन आता है कि हम दोनों सेल भी तो चेंज कर सकते हैं, इसको और बड़ा कर दें। हाँ कर सकते हैं, लेकिन आपको तो E2 की वैल्यू नहीं पता। अब आपको ये नहीं पता कि E2 कितना बड़ा है E1 से। तो आसान तरीका ये है उसका, that you simply replace the value of E2 and E1. You change the position of E2 and E1. So I'm going to bring E2 over there and I'm going to bring E1 over here. Now, what changes in my equation? Now, E2 is still the unknown cell, but now the full length is representing E2. I still don't know E2, but the full length is representing E2. E1 was the smaller cell, right? Or the weaker cell. So again, we start moving the jockey. There will come a point, let's say this point, where it balances. Let's say this length was L2, at which the galvanometer reading became 0. So you will say that E1 is proportional to L2, right? Because E1 उससे balance हो गया. तो अब let's call this as equation number 1. Let's call this equation number 2. So E2 over E1 is equals to L over L2. And then you wanted to find E2. You get L over L2 into E1. And there you go. You will get the value because ये दोनों लेंथ्स मेजर हो जाएंगी रूलर के साथ. E1 हमें ऑलरेडी मालूम है, E2 हमें निकालना था, E2 निकल आएगा. प्लीज़ याद रखिएगा that this galvanometer must always be connected to the weaker cell. Whether the weaker cell is known or unknown, that doesn't matter. But remember this, that E1 या E2 दोनों में से जो weaker है galvanometer उस पे connect होगा तो उसकी रीडिंग 0 होगी. यहाँ पर E2 was unknown but was stronger. That's why I did not connect the galvanometer with E2. So there's a very common mistake that students make. वो जब सर्किट बना के आते हैं वो कहते हैं जी अननोन सेल के साथ गैल्वान, नहीं, वीकर सेल से गैल्वानोमीटर को कनेक्ट करना है. ऑलराइट, डू नॉट फॉरगेट दिस. एंड दैट आल्सो ब्रिंग्स अस टू द एंड ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी.